It's 11:47 p.m. and you're staring at your bank account again. You've done this hundreds of times before. You've checked balances, calculated bills, logged expenses. Maybe you've tried apps, spreadsheets, even color-coded envelopes. You tell yourself, this time, I'll get my finances under control. But here's the thing. Most people think that the key to financial success is meticulous budgeting, tracking every coffee, every subscription, every $3 parking fee. That's what we've been taught. That's the official story. And yet somehow, the people who build real wealth, the millionaires, the ones who sleep peacefully at night without checking their bank accounts at midnight, they almost never do what you're doing right now. They don't obsess over every cent. They don't live in fear of overspending. They do something radically different, something invisible, something almost nobody talks about. By the end of this video, you're going to see exactly what millionaires do instead of budgeting, and more importantly, why it works psychologically, mathematically, and emotionally in a way that budgets alone never can. Here's the story that most financial advice gives you. Millionaires are careful. They track every dollar. They plan, they limit, they save, they calculate. They budget obsessively. It's logical on the surface, right? Discipline equals wealth. Track your money, control your money, eventually you build wealth. But here's the kicker. Research shows that while some millionaires do track spending, it's not their budgeting that makes them wealthy. The thing that separates someone with $50,000 in the bank from someone with $5 million isn't meticulous expense tracking. It's how they allocate their money and how they use systems to make money work harder than they do. Budgets are reactive. They respond to scarcity. Millionaires operate proactively. They build flows and frameworks that put money to work while they sleep, while they work, while they live life. They don't live by spreadsheets. They live by strategy. Imagine this. Instead of panicking over $2.50 spent on coffee, you know exactly where your money is going to work for you. Every dollar is either multiplying in an investment, fueling a business, or creating opportunities. That mental freedom, the invisible buffer of knowing your money is working, changes every single financial decision you make. This is the psychological advantage most people never experience. It's why some people seem to effortlessly grow wealth, while others, despite working just as hard, never move past the paycheck-to-paycheck trap. Here's the dirty secret. Most people budget because they're afraid. Afraid of debt, afraid of overspending, afraid that one unexpected bill will ruin everything. Fear drives budgeting. Fear keeps you in spreadsheets. Fear keeps you reactive. Millionaires, they don't budget out of fear. They allocate out of control and opportunity. They know exactly what their money is doing, but they don't micromanage every dollar. Instead, they funnel resources strategically. Every dollar is either working in an investment, building a business, leveraging assets, or buying freedom. Time to think, plan, and act. When you operate this way, you stop thinking about scarcity. You stop optimizing for survival. You start optimizing for growth. Here's the mind-blowing part. Once you stop thinking, I can't spend, and start thinking, where can this dollar grow? Everything changes. Every financial choice becomes a lever, not a restriction. Every risk becomes an opportunity. Every setback feels temporary instead of catastrophic. Suddenly, your decisions compound, just like your investments do. Your money starts working harder than you ever could alone. The consequence of doing the opposite, budgeting obsessively without strategic allocation, is subtle but brutal. You might live below your means. You might track every expense. You might save diligently. And yet, years later, you're still trapped in a cycle where money doesn't grow, opportunity passes, and stress never goes away. Why? Because your money is stagnant. You're prioritizing control over growth. You're optimizing for survival instead of building leverage. Millionaires understand intuitively that true wealth isn't about cutting back. It's about building systems where money multiplies. For example, $500 per month invested in dividend stocks can generate $6,000 per year. $10,000 strategically invested in a small business could grow to $100,000. $20,000 in a high-yield digital product business might become $200,000 over a few years. Meanwhile, someone meticulously budgeting might save $5,000 in a year, but it sits in a checking account, earning almost nothing. The difference isn't discipline, it's allocation and leverage. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Budgeting alone won't make you rich. Obsessing over every penny keeps you in a hamster wheel. It creates false control. The real game? Letting money do the heavy lifting for you, even when life gets messy. Even when your job doesn't pay extra. Even when emergencies hit. This is the invisible force that separates millionaires from everyone else. They don't budget. They build frameworks, systems, and flows. Picture this. Instead of logging every latte, your money is working while you sleep. Your investments, businesses, or passive streams generate growth. You wake up and the balance has grown. You make decisions from strength, not fear. You negotiate, take calculated risks, and seize opportunities that others can't even see. This is the psychological advantage. Money no longer controls your choices. You control the money. Here's the hidden impact that rarely gets talked about. When you stop micromanaging and start strategically allocating, your psychology changes. You no longer operate in scarcity. You can negotiate higher salaries without desperation, invest in opportunities with calculated risk, take career moves based on growth potential instead of immediate cash needs, and yes, even enjoy life without guilt. The system creates freedom first, wealth second. That freedom, the ability to make decisions without panic, is what fuels exponential growth over decades. Without it, even the most meticulous budget can't prevent stagnation. Millionaires don't budget. They allocate strategically, automate their money, and build systems that multiply it. The spreadsheet isn't what makes you rich. It's your mindset, your allocation, and your ability to turn every dollar into a growth engine. If you want to build lasting wealth, stop counting pennies and start building systems that make money work harder than you do. Start thinking, where can this dollar grow, instead of can I afford this latte? The first step isn't tracking every cent. It's making sure your money is tracking toward freedom. When you embrace this approach, you stop surviving and start thriving. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop fearing and start multiplying. Millionaires don't budget. They think bigger. They think longer. They think strategically. And that's why they win.